A lot of our work focuses on being in the moment, right? And what does that mean? Because I think in society we have a hard time doing that. Some live in the past, we're living in the future, we're always thinking what's next, we're really, really busy, all this information always coming at us. But what about living in the moment? And what does that mean? And you will see that happen, and oftentimes you'll see that happen between the dog and the individual, where they're definitely communicating and she's spending that time with them and they're just staring at each other, or they're having an encounter. But there's also quite a bit of research talking around biophilia. And biophilia is the need for us as human beings to have interaction with other human beings, to have interaction with nature, and to have interaction with animals. So some research is showing that it's really important that we have those connections with our animals, whether they be a cat or a dog or what have you.
You're like right off. Giving me kisses?
Yeah, how did Anna-Belle and I get together? My husband had seen some bulldog puppies. We already have 2 boxers. And he said, don't go look at the puppies. So I went to look at the puppies, and then I named her and kept referring to her, and then, surprise, she was living with us. Anna-Belle went through some certifications, so with St. John's Ambulance in the province, and what basically the dog has to have basic obedience to go through, and then you do certification with them, which is a test. And the way I like to think about it and talk about it is really, you know, you've seen situations where there's a whole bunch of hands on her, so they will, in the test, a number of people will come up and they're all touching her at once, and you know, does she like that? Is it okay? Is anything gonna freak her out or whatever? And yeah, so they go through that. They talk about the dog being bomb-proof. I think she needs more pets.
Yeah, I need more pets, huh?
I need more pets. Yeah, she absolutely loves the attention. She loves people, and I think that's really one of the qualifications too. When we're at the senior center, for example, people will sit in a circle, and the first time I went in, I was fascinated because she walked into the circle and she went from person to person to person. I was like, this is amazing. You have better social skills than some people. I'd done some work with some of my colleagues for the past 5 years around horses and horse therapy, and seen a lot of the really powerful impacts on healing in kids and substance abuse. So coming up to my sabbatical year, I knew I couldn't travel because I have the dogs, and so I thought, well, maybe I can make that transition from the horses to the dogs. Why I was doing this is I wanted to get that hands-on type of feeling and getting that understanding. So we were looking at, you know, the development of programming, again, around who is that facilitator or handler or therapist in some situations, who is the dog and what are you looking for in the skills of that dog, and again, what programming are you using or therapeutic techniques or what have you.
Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss?
Well, she's like, okay. There we go.
But you also see things happening in those moments. A lot of times, my favorite question is, do you have a dog? As we're, you know, and they meet her, and it's like, oh, look at the dog. And it's like, do you have a dog? And the conversations that come out of there, you know, people get to reflect on, yeah, or, you know, if you're in a residential treatment center, do you have a dog at home? And they get to talk about their pet, and they become animated. That pet is often a source of support for them, an unconditional source of support that they may not have had from individuals in their lives, right, as they're coping with their addiction. And so it really is this, it's a really beautiful spot to talk with people too, and to bring those good feelings that they have, right, into what they're looking at now. The objectives of St. John's Ambulance are to offer some support and love, right? And really to make people's days brighter. And if people are interested in becoming involved in the program, contacting St. John's Ambulance in our province, I know that they are recruiting both dogs and handlers, as well as any type of organization that would like the dog to come out and to visit. So yeah, I know they're actively recruiting right now.